Says loud.
Hello, everybody. Yes, we're having a Technology Tuesday, but I think it's happening all over the world. Maybe because of this incoming CME that is bound. I think it's going to be the United States, I believe, will be facing this one that's going to be apparently hitting us straight on. But hey, we're right here. We're adjusting. We're maneuvering. We're good, and you're here. So we haven't gotten together in a long time. So yes, we were late because we were talking, and that's what we do. But anyway, now we're going to include you in the conversation. So welcome everybody. It's Tuesday. It is a second look, and we thank you for uh, dropping in, turning on, tuning in. We know you got other places you can go, so it's an honor. We just speak favor over us because regardless whether you believe it or not, just speaking it has an effect. And as we like to say, nothing missing, nothing broken. That is peace.
Yeah.
And finally, as I turn myself off because I can hear myself coming and going, uh, be kind to your mind. If there's one present you want to give on Saturnalia Day, Christmas Day, Nimrod's birthday, whatever that day may be just give yourself a gift of being kind to your mind in 2026. Hey, ladies. Been a while, but we're all together again, and it is the holiday season. So, again, whatever it is that you celebrate in the holidays, party on. So, Miss Trini, you're looking beautiful as ever.
Mm.
Just,
You too, my friend, and you too,
well,
beautiful Jenny. I've missed
I've
both of
got
you.
Jenny. Yes, we missed
And
you
everyone
bad.
in chat. Hugs. Oh,
Yeah,
love
and welcome everybody in chat. I
you.
still to this day do not know what the numbers are about, but I really
I
don't
don't
care.
either.
I don't. It's like, okay. It's AI, it's taken over, it's everywhere. But Jenny, I think probably everybody would like to know how is Will and how is the Roberts household.
The Roberts household is feeling the windy energies for sure. So we're like this. There's things being thrown, but yeah, lots of laughter in it. A piece in it of things get so difficult or so many things are being thrown at once that you do get to that point of 0 point of like, okay, there's no more F's given, so I can relax in this place. And in that place, there's favors coming. So Will's doing well. He's had a few setbacks, but then in those setbacks has been just as brilliant as before, if not more, as he goes. We see the consultant again on the 16th of December. So there's two coagulating factors in his blood. We have 13 coagulating factors in the blood that work together to make it healthy and bleed healthily and clot healthily. Two of those already have shown that they're very low. And that would already be an indicator as to why his body was able to just keep bleeding, and didn't stop itself. So for whatever reason, we know that the blood's not coagulating properly because there's almost two factors missing. Um, and then that's given me loads of leads as to where to go to boost that for him naturally. So
Jenny,
again, we've been on a real journey with that, and he's taken to it. He's doing what I'm asking him to do.
Jenny,
He's
I keep hearing really loudly homocysteine level. I don't know what that is.
uh,
Homocysteine. You're saying homocysteine.
I'll check it, but that might be his hemoglobin as well, because his hemoglobin is really, but I'll check that though, because it could be something that I'm not thinking of right now. But the his hemoglobin still very low, which again, there's got to be reasons behind that as to why he's not retaining iron, and these two coagulating factors are low. And his folate acid was very, very low. And if anybody's suffering from a wide range of things, check out your folate levels, because I didn't realize how much it was responsible for and how much we get from not having a good amount of it in our bodies. So yeah, and that might be a hint for anybody. You can get folic acid, which is what is being prescribed just over the counter. And it's a supplement, but that's really low too. So it's been a real road still, but we've started to get answers that we can work with. Um, and he's been amazing. It's his 16th on the 15th of this month.
Wow.
Excellent.
So we're going to try and get him out for a meal. He fancies a steakhouse. And he still can't do too much, at any one time. The wounds and stuff still healing a bit. Um, but it's doing really well. But these things that are low in him can cause the exhaustion that he's been feeling too. So we're just thinking like go to a steakhouse, eat, and come home. And he seems pretty. So he's looking up which restaurants he might fancy. And then we'll be putting names in a hat for him to choose.
Yeah. Right on.
Well,
Happy early birthday, Will.
yes,
I can't believe he's going to be
15, is that
16.
I can't either. I'm
15?
like 16.
He's
16 years old.
16 on the 15th of this month. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yep,
So,
there we go.
but yeah, 16, it's a big thing here. So
Depending on, we don't do this anymore with the males, but there was a time in our species cultures where the males had to have the right of
Understood.
passage from childhood to adulthood, manhood.
not powerful.
And yeah, there was a reason for that. And we don't do that today. And I've read a number of papers that, some look at this in the academic world is that, we lost that part of our culture. And now we have generations who they've never made the passage. So they never made that initiation. And yeah.
Yeah, I think it makes a person feel because there's similar rituals for girls going into womanhood, and I think it's a real thing that where the community sees you and accepts you in that moment, and that's a powerful thing to create a foundation that's much stronger, that's not to be swayed. It creates a confident person, I think. Um, if they're celebrated that way.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things I'm grateful for, is growing up on the street. I mean, it was mean, it was tough, but it was a rite of passage. And
Yeah, many times.
and it was like,
Yeah.
okay, you really
You
find out. It's like, okay, the mean
didn't
streets,
go
but
for one rite of passage, Wayne. You went for a whole 12 pack.
well, yeah, exactly. And what did they must have been those 40 kegers or whatever, but
You're like, I'm going to go
Lying
through
at a
every one of
circus,
these
jumping through
Sundays.
the fire hoop.
that's where you got a little bit a laugh. But I'm glad to hear that Will
Mm.
is doing good and the kids are doing well. The other
Yeah, yeah,
two,
Theo's
yeah,
doing good. Yeah,
Theo,
Theo's doing
yeah,
good. And Rosie's doing really great. She's been out
excellent.
riding today. So yeah, we're
Yeah.
good.
Everybody, hello in the chat room. Hello, Nina.
Hi.
Good to see you and voiceover. Miss Stephanie, good to see you. Loretta and everybody else. So many good people. I think Lost in Space had made a suggestion about doing a call-in, and I think there is a call-in number we can do that. I've never done that, but you know, might be something to think about. I'm thinking about what are we, 2 weeks away, 17 days away from Christmas, Saturnalia Day,
Roundabout.
Nimrod's birthday, however you want to celebrate it. Am I right on that? Let,
I'm
let, let
looking
me
at it
let me
as
go
the
to the great.
god of the
Roundabout.
hologram.
I'm going to go to the Black Mirror because this is, it tells you everything, right? So Christmas is on a Thursday, so we'll be able to do a show on the 23rd. So it might be something to look into. Yeah,
I'm on. I'm game. Yeah.
yeah.
I think a call
That's
in
an
would be
interesting
nice.
term. I'm game. I mean, when you
I'm
look at
game.
the eschatology of that word, it's I'm just when you said that, I went, Jenny, that's an interesting metaphor in my head. I'm game.
Could go one of two ways. It's like Madagascar when he sees his friend running and he's the steak. Oh, you're like, oh yeah, she's cool. We
Yeah,
love you.
yeah, and and it's so true today. I mean, I titled this that we're just in a whack-a-doodle world because I swear, what was that? Who killed Roger Rabbit? They actually did the cartoon animation, with real. I'm telling you, it just, I was watching something the other day, and I swear they became tunes for just for a brief second. And I told my wife, I said, "Honey," I said, "they just became tune care because what they were saying was so ridiculous." And you just go, "Yeah." And it's just not me. It can't be. It's like it's
No.
crazy.
I've
Mhm.
been saying it's like Pinky. Do you know the cartoon Pinky and the Brain?
I love
Um,
that cartoon. Very
and it's like,
sophisticated because
what will we
adults
do
write those
tonight, Pinky?
cartoons.
We're going to take over the world. And it really is. That's
Exactly.
all you hear from these characters on the stage. It's like Pinky and the Brain for me, because I used to love that cartoon. And it really is every day they're trying to take over
I mean, you gotta
something.
love the minds of these guys because there's adults who write the cartoons. I like the Angry Beavers. I mean,
I've
Norm
seen that.
and if you
I
get a
don't know.
chance, it's sophisticated humor. This one, I swear, was written by two acid heads that came out of the late '60s. Because what they're doing in this cartoons is like, yeah, I've been there. But anyway, yeah, love the cartoon. We grew up with the Flintstones, you know.
Yeah, I love
Mhm.
the
I did too.
Flintstones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do you think about it? That was on primetime television at one time.
Oh yeah.
Cartoon. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Jetsons.
There were several of them. Yeah. There was a whole
Yeah.
window of time where you could go before school and after school. All your favorite
That's
cartoons were
right. Yeah.
stacked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
The Looney Tunes, today they say
Yeah.
that the Looney Tunes are racist and, you know,
Violence.
yeah, I look back and you want to talk about violence. I mean, I grew up with the Three Stooges, you know.
Right.
I mean, I did. My
Yeah.
brother, true story, um, I guess I may have been 5 and he was 4, but he came we were living with my grandparents and had a paint can and hit me over the head with that paint can because he had seen it on, the
Three
Three Stooges.
Stooges.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to this very
Yeah.
day, I still have that dent in my skull where, that paint can in it. But and
It's funny.
we got banned from watching. My grandmother would
Yeah.
allow us,
They were like, enough of that. We're
Yeah.
not dealing with the medical bills. Yeah.
But you had Lou Costello and Abbott and yeah, but it was funny. There was
Well,
something funny about when you see another person fall or get hurt. I don't know what it is, but it's hilarious at times.
I was thinking about that too. Why do we find that even children?
Yeah,
I
exactly. Why
mean,
do
they
we find
find it
that funny?
hilarious. Like you pretend like you just hurt yourself and they bust up laughing. It's like, what is that? I guess because when we're in spirit form, we don't get to experience that. So we know it's just temporary and it's part of experiencing the human. And we find it absolutely hilarious. I'm like, that is crazy. We
It
literally
is.
can't control the laughter when somebody literally goes splat.
no,
I lived with some my first foster parents, and they were rather wealthy anyway. They entrusted me to drive this ski boat, and they had their daughter on the back pulling. Long story short, didn't tell her that I was turning. She ended up in the mud bank. And I laughed for 5 minutes because when she gets up, she has mud just all over her. I don't know. It was like, what the hell did you just? Anyway, yeah.
That is so funny. We did the same thing. I got stuck in the mud with my dirt bike and I had four people loaded on top of this little YZ80. And we're going through this after the
Doing it.
storm. Yeah, I had one on my lap, two on the back, and I'm sitting kind of on the tank, and we're getting it, And we hit this dip of where the water captured in the dirt road, and it literally sunk straight to the engine almost. And they're holding up their legs, and I'm just laughing. I couldn't even breathe. I was laughing so hard. I'm like, y'all think you're not going to get money on this one? Good luck, you know. Yeah, covered with mud. I mean, we were covered and we couldn't even breathe. We were laughing so hard. It was like, and there's like, whoop. Oh, oh.
And you know what I think is funny is, and this sounds, you know, well, particularly because it didn't happen, but seeing these people eat these ghost peppers, these peppers that are like
Oh,
10 million
no way.
Scovilles or something,
No way.
it's funny, but they're in deep pain, but it's just
Oh,
funny. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. What does
Oh,
that
and
say about
I
us?
love it too. Have you seen the videos lately that are coming out when the bears attack the Christmas decorations? Like the snowmen are singing and the bears like, whoa, boom. I'm like,
I
it
saw
makes
the
me
one where they
laugh
did
so hard.
that.
I'll have to look that up.
The
Yeah,
other one that's been
bears.
quite
Yeah.
funny was the porch pirates, the ones that are steal the packages and they're actually
Oh,
exposed to
yes.
paint.
I laughed so hard. I love those. And all the
Like
different colors, and they're rainbow colored, and their car is covered. And it's like they know who did it.
one actually called the cops,
Yeah,
and she's covered in this orange and green paint.
yeah.
And
Porch
she says,
pirate.
I want to file a complaint. And he says, for what? She says, because I got all this paint. He said, well, how'd you get the paint? She said, well, I was stealing the package.
Right.
I'm just going, okay, sure,
Eh,
makes
eh,
perfect sense. You know, it's like, yeah,
yeah. Let's arrest you now for theft.
whack-a-doodles. I'm telling you, it's a whack-a-doodle out for, what's going, I haven't read the chat room, but I bet there are some stories in there as well.
I
Oh,
was
yeah.
going to say that it's not just humans either. I've watched just today alone, and I've got a list this week so far, and it's only Tuesday, of the horses, both of them. On the way down, we've had such wet weather here. It is so muddy down there. To take them down to the field where
Hmm.
a lot of the other horses walk, it's so muddy. So it's like walking through the trenches, literally, and it's suctioning you. And so between Opal and Queenie, one of them's done, but Queenie today just pushed Opal just hard enough, just on the right spot to make her, jump out of her skin, and for Rosie to have to be stern with her. And I swear, I looked back, and that horse was laughing. She was laughing. She was laughing. She knew she'd gotten her sister in trouble. She knew it was just gentle enough that she couldn't get told off for anything that could have looked accidental, but it wasn't. I was walking behind her, saw the whole thing, and
Oh,
she was, and the cat. I've seen the cat push things in, into the bath. I don't want to be in
I've seen
there.
enough videos with particularly the cats and the dog. The one that I saw, they had spilt the flour, and the owner comes back because they had it on security cam, and she walks in. So this cat's got flour in it. Dog's got, it's German Shepherd, in fact. And she says, all right, who spilt this? And the dog's looking over at the cat, and the cat comes back and whacks the dog. It's like, you told on
Sneaky.
me, you son of a.
yeah. It's like we don't do that.
Then
Yeah.
there was another one. Um, it was one of those massives, the really big ones, where he had a little puppy, and there was a little chihuahua that was harassing the puppy. And the chihuahua was in one of those um, collars that it's a hoist almost. And the big dog come over, picks up the little chihuahua who's just whoop, 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 goes over to the trash can
I
It's the
saw
thing. Did you see that video? Yeah.
that. I laughed so hard. I was like, oh my God, you threw him in the trash. I'm like, that is the best.
Animals, they have a sense of humor. They love
Like,
it's I love it.
and I couldn't believe it. He pushed the button, opened the lid, and
Yeah.
threw the dog in, and
Just
the lid
jump the
closed.
dog
I
right
was like,
in.
you got to be kidding me right now. I couldn't believe that was one of the best one I'd seen in a while, Wayne. I can't believe you saw it too. It,
See? It
going
it it
viral.
it's it's this AI thing, it's the
Yeah.
whole craziness. And I mean, that's the other wackadoodleness. I mean, I'm getting reports now of, stories that I'm seeing people now that weren't even covering this mainstream, is what I'm primarily talking about on these data centers here. It's it's like I told Lynn last night, I said, this is like a bunch of wackadoodles. I mean, they're
Yeah.
Yeah.
rearranging everything and no one's paying attention. It's like, okay.
And nobody can still explain to me, how does this help humanity? How does
It
this
doesn't.
help with
And
the earth?
I
They
want to
keep
know what
crying
data are
about.
they processing? I mean,
That's what I mean. They keep crying about all the problems with the water and the power and all this, and then you need that, which,
yeah.
wow.
At the
Wow.
very
I
least, at the
can't.
very least, they're processing consciousnesses because we
Right.
we know that for a lot of it is sending out bots for the likes of oppressive countries to literally wage psychological war with people to make them think that there's a big following of this person or this country or this, when actually for a lot of it it's Pisces overlaying Aquarius. So we've got the technology age with the illusionary age, which is very murky as it's coming out into Aquarius. So we've got that blurring and blending phase of like, oh shit. So this is what they can do with consciousness when they have enough bots looking like real people saying yay or no, like the people will just follow those bots, follow the leader, so whatever mass media they've had, they've always used. Oppressive countries, oppressive states, oppressive people have always used. This is like nothing we've experienced before, this level of mass media, because this level of mass media is billions and billions of tiny little individual looking like profiles going around making words manifest and getting real people to repeat them like a script. And you can't challenge that script. They're in deep to it. Why? Because AI is hitting them hard with it all the time, just in the right spaces, just at the right time of day. This gives them more control than people realize going forward. Much fewer people control, I think.
Well, it's
I'd love
sucking
to know what else they're doing under there.
the
Like,
resources right out of it. And
uh-huh.
Trina, I did the story on that where I showed the map on the regions in the United States, particularly that are being hit hardest. Your area right there in Phoenix,
Wow.
Scottsdale, that
It's a
whole,
bit bad.
it's like, what the hell is going on? I mean, to tell you how bad it's getting, so we live in a very small town, and so get a small town paper. So the utility company here just passed this special ordinance that this proposed data center that, supposedly is not coming in, but now we got the utility company making an exception. This thing's going to be sucking 75 megawatts a day. And that's not even talking about the water. I'm
Yeah.
not quite getting the water usage on these things. I get the electricity.
7 gallons of water per picture.
Yeah,
So anything
yeah,
like
that's right.
anything, a meme, anything is a minimum 7 gallons of water per image required. So this is a lot of, I mean, every time people make these things for their thumbnails, seven
Yeah.
gallons of
It's
water.
it's what's interesting because what these data centers are, if you were to go into one, all they are, and the racks sometimes go high as 20, 25 feet. These are just servers.
Yep.
and they're in data server racks. I mean, I was a CEO of a couple of software companies, and we had our own room with our servers. And now you're talking the one down in Abilene, Texas, Google 1.3 million square feet.
Wow.
The height of the building is 25 feet.
Is this not the Matrix? I'm sorry, but come on, really?
Think
Like when he
about it.
wakes up in that pod in that server tower, just like you've just described. I mean, and Gilbert's just said in the chat, Gilbert, you're so right. And who the hell's paying? You might not have added the hell. I'm doing that for effect, but who's paying for this shit? He said, we are. The billionaires don't use their own money. So
Nope.
we are, that's why the energy bills have been going up and up and up. This is a heist and we're paying for it and we're paying for our own demise because in 2024, the main man leading this cause that was kicked out of Africa and has come to colonize us, the Western hemisphere, because we take him, is in 2024 was up for countless court cases against the environment and the health that he'd put upon people in the surrounding areas. And they've all been cancelled off now. They've gone. He doesn't have to go to court anymore for those.
Here it's an interesting story. Someone sent me, they did 2 weeks ago they sent it to me, and so they took what I showed in the proposed data centers that we now know of, the ones that are proposed for the next year to 2 years. He said he said you're right. This is a takeover. This is
Right.
something's going on when you have rural counties that are now going to have these data centers. And each county that I have heard that the people have protested, all the county officials have come back and said, well, it's going to bring $20 million into the county. And, this is a windfall for everybody. It's the Trojan horse, you
It's a
know?
windfall for them, not for us. It never
Yeah.
It's
is.
one of the
Never is.
medical bills, isn't it?
Never.
Wouldn't that just be one of the potential medical
Yep.
bills for one person in that area? I
Yep.
mean,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's 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 nuts. And so I keep asking, what data is it that they're needing? I mean, it
Right. That's what I
the
keep saying. Make this
yeah,
make sense. And it
yeah,
doesn't make sense in any way. It
doesn't.
does make
Mm-mm.
sense is an absolute, the most nefarious thing we could ever
yes,
sign
yeah,
up for. So when I try to make sense of it, I'm trying like, how could this benefit? How? I can't find it. I'm looking and looking and looking. I can't find it. I can't.
I'll tell you what I think, and it bothers me. I mean, and when you think about the death industry and how it is wrapped. I'm going to do a show on this, but I've got two of my two favorite people. So the death industry is rapidly changing.
yes.
Yeah.
Now, maybe it's just the conspiracy side of me who says, now, wait a minute. If I was to capture you, Trina, and then Jenny, I'm bringing you along, and so I now got the three of us. We're basically cubes, but
Mhm.
we're joined and merged by the fact that we touch each other's cube.
Coherence. Yeah.
So we have these thing called dream catchers, right?
Yeah,
Right?
right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
What if these are soul catchers?
It's
yes.
the web.
What if this
It
web
shows
has
you the web.
literally web that this is Musk is now calling the neural net? What if it's really capturing?
Wayne, you know what? Okay, this
What
is
if you
land of
don't even need
fantasy.
anything physical put in, Wayne? And Trina, what if you don't need anything physically put in? That might come later for the
It's
neural
already,
thing.
yeah,
I
it's
think
already
it's
there.
figured out
System
what
is
what
consciousness while we're
scientists haven't.
sleeping.
I
It's
think
Yeah,
it's
already there.
figured out that essence, that ethereal essence of the separation at the moment of death.
You, you know what? I
I
think you're
think they've
right,
learned.
Wayne. I
I
think there's
think
a
it's
mirror.
captured it.
They're capturing it in a mirror. This is what they've been showing
Yeah,
me. Like,
good point.
so in the land of imagination, none of this is true. This is all just part of my imagination. What I kept hearing is God's hiding. God's hiding from you. God can't get through to you because you can't see God because you're too busy looking at the holographic reality as God. And I was like, oh, smack. Okay. So if I'm looking at a holographic reality, which means the mirror has captured the image of the true reality and it has projected it through a laser beam onto a holographic plane. Therefore, we can't see anything real because all we focus on is this. If you can't get beyond this, you're never going to get past the laser beam that you think is reality. And interesting enough, laser beam? Interesting. So, in the land of
Part
imagination.
of I've been so preoccupied writing, and it
Mhm.
really brings up one thing that I want you two to comment. This section is called the 800-pound gorilla in the room. So I'll let y'all be my proofreaders on this, or what do you think of it? It said perfection is a word most often where religious use it to bring an unseen entity, deity, who is perfect in every way to the most imperfect world. Seems rather simple on the surface of having the thought put into our minds that something can be perfect and everything else is imperfect, of which most religions are based on that construct, which they then will teach you on how to obtain this perfection. Again, it's an easy concept and one that is actually used very common, and we accept it without question. The one question that I ask is, how is perfection? And I come into it with this question: the impossibility of perfect, no such thing as perfection. Since we are taught in the Western culture that God is perfect and the devil is imperfect, and there is a war between the two, and neither side is won, but neither side is lost. Either case, it's a stalemate. Now, this is where simple physics comes into play. Does perfection exist? Think about this. If there is such a state of being where everything is perfect, how is that possible? If perfection is obtainable, what would be the purpose of perfection to be? What would be the purpose or reason for being perfect? What comes after perfection? Is it even possible for God to be perfect? Finally, how would it be possible for imperfection to coexist with perfection? So I came up with this in the middle of the night. The story that we have is that apparently Satan, Lucifer, he was perfect, she was perfect, created right, and then imperfection was found within him. That's impossible. Because if you have perfection and imperfection, then you have what they call the annihilation factor. So my simple question here, and I came in, is how is perfection possible? Because the next state past perfection is nothingness. There's no purpose. Why would God be perfect? There would be no purpose for it to exist. People are afraid of being judged when they die. How are you going to be judged by a perfection that you aren't? So anyway, it's a theological, philosophical question that I thought is very relevant because I've been writing volumes on this. I don't believe perfection exists. I don't. I think it's
I do.
impossible.
I do, but it depends on your definition of perfection. And I think our original source is that perfection. And that's why we chose to be fallen or separated from it so we could understand even what it was to be perfect. Because without the contradiction, you don't know hot if you don't know cold. You can't know hate if you
Well,
don't
if
know
you were
love.
perfect, though, Trina, how would you know what imperfection would look like?
That's what I don't think you do understand until you feel it. And that's why you have to go into the material realms. I think everything you're saying is spot on, but I think I see it reversed.
Well,
I
it's
see it.
Webster says that it's,
Yeah.
according to Webster, it's a quality or state of being perfect, such as freedom from fault or defeat, excuse me, deficit, flawless, maturity, interesting, a state, a quality of being saintly,
Yes.
exemplification of supreme excellence, an unsurpassable degree of accuracy or excellence, the act or process of perfecting.
See, because I don't think there's
It
any
doesn't really say
perfection
anything
here.
to me on that.
There's no perfection here. I don't think there's any perfection here. Some people can perfect certain skills. I mean, and defining perfection for you, everybody sees it a little bit different. But I don't think there's perfection here, but I think there we came from perfection and we came into a fallen state to understand what that even means. Like you can't
But how did
appreciate
the fallen state even happen? My point is that it,
separation from the wholeness. Because when you're connected to everything, you don't, there's
yeah,
no
but why would
identifying.
you, how would perfection come out of perfection? I mean, it's the
To give
annihilation
birth,
factor.
you become annihilated. That's the forgetfulness, is because you polarize into a different position. You're literally phase locking into a different position of light from which you came. So that's the fall. The fall is the division. The
See,
division
I
is
don't think,
separation.
here's my thought. So Lucifer came to me in a dream and said, "This is how it happened.
Mhm.
I don't exist, but the character that they created around me was that the secret that I found that got me cast down was the fact that I found that there is no perfection. It does not exist. It does not exist and never has. When I found this secret, then I became exiled. Who once that I was the accuser is now I am being accused of. The secret that what we know that you will eventually come to understand is that there never was anything known as perfection.
God, he's so tricky, and that is true here.
That
True
came
here.
to me in a dream. I literally got
Yeah.
up and
He's
what
very
you
smart, or she. It is very smart. Very smart. One of the smartest you will ever encounter. So that is a very high level of intelligence.
it said to me that never have I been allowed to speak. Never have I been allowed in any way to bring forth a counter. I have been accused of many things that I have not done, but the other that accuses me has.
Hmm.
I have never sought to harm any species. I just found a secret that was not supposed to be told.
Doesn't hurt any other species? That's a bold thing to say, Lucifer, because Lucifer's done horrible things.
What has it really done, though? I mean, what has it
The
done?
dismembered babies, I mean,
No, no,
like
no, that's Yahweh.
That's not true.
that's
Yeah.
Yahweh,
That's
that's
Yahweh. That's
Satan,
not
that's the
Lucifer.
devil, that's Lucifer. No, Lucifer is more of a, from what I was shown, is a guardian of legal. He's the legal entity of this planet. The legal, I think Lucifer Trust, they're telling you right to your face, he is the trust holder of this galaxy.
But see, the point
He,
is that
whatever.
he or
Mm.
she has been accused of such atrocities, but
Well,
there's no
being a
record of
trustee of
that.
this earth and putting us into these financial systems, are they pleasant?
I don't believe it was him at all. I believe it's
I
what
think
you
he
call
controls all of
Yahweh.
it.
It's God or Jehovah.
I don't think so. I think Lucifer is the one who's been carrying the trust holder position for millennia.
So, okay, well, I guess kind of theology, because if you look at, for instance, the book of Joshua, it wasn't Lucifer that commanded the Israelites to go into the Moabites and to kill every one of them, and that's where Yahweh, Jehovah, commanded the children of Israel, according to their word, not mine, that
Mhm.
Jehovah commanded them they slay every living thing. That if a woman was to
Mhm.
known a man, she was to be slayed. If there was a woman with child, it was to be cut out. That wasn't Lucifer telling any human. That was God, the God of the Old Testament.
Totally.
Well, then, Lucifer then would had nothing to do with that. Lucifer would be the antithesis of that.
They're two gods trying to have control over souls. They're
Well,
fighting and
but
they will never
Lucifer
stop.
never commanded. We don't read anything where Lucifer commanded an army to go in and commit genocide to another people.
I don't I think Lucifer's army is probably the biggest in the galaxy. See, it's
Well,
about what you've seen and what you've experienced with your consciousness. And I went to the legal aspect of what is this being? What is its power? What is its function? And it took me into legal and high intelligence. Oh my gosh, this is what I saw.
but
So,
again,
and I do understand that there's Yahweh, Jehovah. These are different beings. Satan and Lucifer are not the same to me.
well, Lucifer
Know
doesn't
this.
exist. It's a construct from Jerome that never happened.
Correct,
We made it a living egregore, is what
but
we've
through
done.
thought form, but from what I saw with the legal, this light bearer, which could be an aspect of Venus, has been in control of the monetary stuff for a very, very, very long time, appearingly. And
Mm.
I'm pretty sure like the religions work underneath that power. And that's why I kept, holy crap, a lot of people might be worshiping Lucifer in religion and they don't know. They think that's their God. Yeah. So there's a lot to this, and it's so hard to know because you think any of these things that have been written down are truth. It's all been filtered. We don't know what's accurate. We don't know. The only way you can know is to go in your own DNA and look for yourself and see where you're. But you got to be careful because the tricksters. They're smart. They're smart, so
No,
they can take you down
here's the
roads that
point as
are
well.
deceptive.
So, but how can you see, this is where you draw the line. If in the story of creation, if you go according to the story, it was God, the creator, that cursed the earth. It was God, the creator, who cursed the female. It was
Yeah.
God, the creator, who cursed man.
Yeah.
Lucifer didn't do that. That's God.
Like I said, Lucifer had a different part of this project, and it was the legal binding
But
the
but
soul,
but but my
controlling light.
point is, but you can't add and say, well, no, it says specifically, God cursed the earth. God cursed that which it created.
I get that, Wayne, but I can't believe anything that I read written by man anymore. Everything has been corrupted.
No,
Everything
I'm
we are
not
allowed to
getting the,
see is
don't
so
disagree with you on
full of it.
that.
Yeah, so I can't buy that. Like, oh, but it was God. Well, who says so? Really? I ain't
Well,
buying
you
it.
got
I'm gonna go
2,000
look
years
myself.
of Christian theology that
I
has
don't
taught
care.
that.
Yeah, I don't care because I don't think anybody knows anything. I don't think any religion, as everybody knows, it's causing division. And if this was about a perfect God, it wouldn't divide people. So,
Now you
bottom
see,
line,
that's where we go full circle. That's where I
yeah,
came
that's
from my
what I
original.
just can't.
Can
It's
there
like,
be a perfect God? And the
not
evidence would say
here,
no.
not here. Correct. Not
Evidence
here.
says no. Jenny, you've been quiet all along on this.
Yeah, just thought I'd let you thrash it out. But I agree that this space very much the gnosis for me would be that it's this Yahweh that's commanded any masculines. But going back to the word, because you both spoke eloquently on that, going back to the words that you read out about how they're depicted in the dictionary, how it's defined, sorry, is that one jumped out to me. They all jumped out to me, and I think from being in that Christian cult mentality, perfection, the attainment thereof is their favorite like slogan, isn't it?
It
You
is,
know,
yeah.
tithe more.
That's
You
what
need
they
to be a bit
sell
more
you.
perfect to get those blessings in. You know, prosperity preaching, all of those things are there, and they're wrapped around very much a few key words. And one of those key words is perfection. And one of the things in that was mature. And you raised your eyebrows. And I raised my eyebrows spiritually when you said that, is because actually I heard that in the church all the time of like, oh, you perfect child. What they meant was that a few of the children I knew were getting hurt, and they were quiet and very conscientious of what they were doing at all times. They weren't like the other kids running around making noise, willing to get told off for the risk of stealing a biscuit, literally. You know, they wouldn't do so. That perfection word raised my eyebrows there, because it was used a lot in those ways too, to inhibit the beautiful individuality of children, very much so in the church. The
Yeah, because the
depiction of
church will say,
perfect
well, you
being
don't
acting
have, your
mature,
faith hasn't been perfected.
yeah, and acting above
Like,
your age,
okay,
but very much so in the
what do you
pressure.
mean my faith hasn't been perfected? Let's stop. What
Yeah,
does
Have you
that
checked
mean?
yourself lately?
Yeah, it's
Have
like,
you
the
checked
tithe
yourself
the tithe
lately?
like,
conversation
okay,
usually comes
yeah.
in after that, doesn't it? The tithe conversation very nicely goes in after that, of like,
Well,
but
yeah,
you know,
because it's
you could have
impossible to please
faith
God
and just
without
put
faith.
everything you've got.
You
Yeah,
know, it's
you
like,
could have
oh,
faith and put more
yeah.
in, brother. You'll be
Yeah.
fine. You know, you might be hungry next week, but you're gonna be more
Uh,
faithful for sure. So that's what they're
Mhm.
doing with the word perfect in this realm, in this space. But
Mhm.
even if you want
well,
to go
Jenny,
from
they
that,
also use perfection as a way of punishment.
it
God
is.
is
That's what I
perfecting
mean.
you by your suffering.
Yeah, yeah, and he's chiseling you and he's fortifying you and all of that other bullshit.
I've never
And
read
really,
where he's
it's
tickling me. I would
no,
like to
no,
find out.
I meant like fortifying and
And
conditioning you.
God tickled
Sorry, but
me. Okay.
he doesn't tickle
Okay.
me. I can tickle you with spiritual laughter. I don't know where he is. He's always off stage because he does not. He comes in with the doom and
I'm just
gloom.
trying to picture a picture of Jesus tickling,
But you know, like you get that spiritual laughter and things of, you know, they're just, there's a vibe to it when you start bringing the word perfect into it. I feel an anchor. I do. And it's
Uh-huh.
impossible because my perfect today won't even be my perfect tomorrow, because the elements will be different. The company might be different. The minerals inside of me might be different. The sleep pattern might be different. There's so many different elements that perfection is
You
actually
know what?
truly
One
the
thing that it
unattainable
will do
word.
to tickle you
Oh,
is the washing of other people's feet.
Oh
I
yeah,
always do that. I do that a lot.
I
I
do
Which
do
too.
that.
is, back in the day when I practiced Christianity, that was one of the things that we used to do was,
Yeah.
we'd have these kind of like prayer meetings where everyone would get in a circle and everyone would
Yes,
wash the other person's feet. It's a very
we did
humbling
that.
experience, is what it is.
It's a
It's so
beautiful thing.
beautiful. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
beautiful thing. I used to do my granny's feet because we did it in the prayer circles a lot. But and I actually didn't mind that. And my granny used to love me washing her feet in the bowl first and then moisturizing, and, you know, and then putting her special slippers on to that she didn't mind getting oily. So, and it was I'll never forget those moments. We had such good conversations in those moments. I saw her at such peace in those moments. So those moments were perfect for what they were, but her feet were far from perfect, which is why I was bathing and
The
moisturizing
reason why
them
they call
regularly
it the
for her.
soul, the
Yeah,
soles
yeah,
of
and
your
they were
feet.
very
Yeah.
imperfect. They were sore and cracked, and they
Well,
needed
doesn't
care.
the
But it
Chinese
made for
teach
perfect
there
moments.
is a form of therapy for the feet?
Reflexology, yes.
Yeah, that they know. Yeah, each
Reflexology.
It's
one.
true.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you know,
yeah.
Wayne, that's the only holistic practice that they actually cover for medical insurance in the hospital.
Really?
And I would suggest you look into that for Lynn's recovery when she gets out of
Yeah,
surgery.
I
Get
will.
reflexology done on her.
It's
They say
helpful
the
just
healing
like
time improves their immune
I believe
system. They
that.
it completely want, and that's why they will cover it now, because the evidence was so profoundly clear that this really does benefit people. Most people
Listen,
just don't know to
When I
ask.
was
people
recovering
getting
from,
chemo can't have reflexology. If people are getting chemo, they cannot have reflexology because if they've just had their chemo, it
It'll
is
throw
such
it
a
out.
yeah,
powerful mover,
Yeah.
yeah,
and it can flood the blood too quickly,
Yeah.
to the chemo around the body too quickly
Yeah.
because it's made as a substance to go around the body more slowly through the bloodstream. But when you've had reflexology, it just floods so it's getting all your lymphatic system going. So
Yes.
Trina's right. It's
no, it
recognized even
works.
in the sense that you can't have it in some parts of the hospital because it
Don't
would be
do it to
it'd be too
pregnant women.
powerful.
No pregnant women either,
And no
especially
pregnant
around their
women.
ankles.
Yeah, you can bring on
Right?
early birth,
Yes.
so
Yes.
it's
All
powerful.
I know is that, when I came out of the with the meningitis, I was paralyzed on the right side. So a lot of that was done that with acupuncture as well. It
Mhm.
Yeah. And all I can say is thank God, whoever that God may be, for, things like TENS unit. It's amazing what electrical stimulation will do to
Yeah.
damaged nerves.
Isn't that crazy? I swear it's a change in the
Works.
polarization thing. Foo. It resets it through that jolt. When
Hmm.
your heart stops too, what do? Clear. You know,
Hmm.
that's a powerful reset for our body. It's kind of like like when you shut the computer down and reboot. It's happening, but micro and fast, instantly. You get that charge,
We
boom.
we use TENS unit. We've got several of them, and they work. I
Uh-huh.
mean, it's better
Yeah.
than
Yeah,
taking
we
drugs.
use them. We have one
Yes.
yesterday, Rosie.
You know,
Definitely.
and it does. It blocks the pain signals. Wonderful bodies, these
You
things,
can
aren't
get a
they?
great one just for the head that doesn't even need a machine or anything. I got it for my friend who suffered from migraines, and it's literally the TENS machine, but as small as like this circle, and you just got sticky pads that came with it, and pressed the button literally, and it gave off the right frequency for migraine
Yeah, I can
relief.
see that.
Oh, and she's
Mhm.
found it so useful to, pull out and it actually if she feels it coming on, she can actually
Stop
sometimes
it.
many times stave off a migraine, from
Yeah.
ever coming at all if she catches it just at the right time.
Yeah.
Um, so that you might find one of those if anybody's suffering from that she found great relief from that.
Yeah.
That's
If she
wonderful.
can catch it just at
Apparently, a
the right time.
lot of people in the chat room use them too. Yeah, they
Uh-huh.
work.
They
They really
do.
do. I
They
mean,
really do.
it's
Absolutely.
and it goes to show us that, the East, they were studying these bodies way before we even were thinking that, such
Yeah,
things.
it's
That
Chinese
Absolutely.
medicine. Isn't that ironic? So,
It's true. I was just reading, and because big fan of Dr. Lin on anthropology, but they have found now they where we were thought were cave people, ancient
Mhm.
people, they were doing brain surgery. I
Yep.
mean,
I saw that with the year as well. Did you
yeah,
see? Yeah,
yeah,
Rosie
it's
showed
like,
it to me yesterday
like,
and said, "You
wow.
see, aren't we such big heads that could be
It's
fooled
like,
by whitewashed history of this very small snippet of history that's like through a kaleidoscope sort of accurate, level, and we've bought into the fact that we're the masters of medicine and we're the first ones to do this transplant and that.
yeah.
When you see that they'd sculpted like a shell for this person and that they were unthinking because her grave, I think it was the same story, or it might have been an attached article, but there was a similar story of she was in her 40s. They knew that from looking at,
Hmm.
at
Hmm.
bones.
Female.
And they'd buried her beautifully, but she'd been very disabled. So she'd obviously been very disabled all of her life up until her 40s. they were nurturing for it and caring for it. They didn't see it obviously as a burden just to, let die in the woods, because she was disabled. They did everything for her, all of these adaptations, and she was very loved because there's this burial site and it was made perfectly, like out of love, it was made beautifully. Um, and I think I said to Rosie, aren't we such big heads that we even fell for it for just 1 second? Just it's crazy. It's perfect as well. It's a shell. Have you seen it, Trina?
No, but I was just thinking about all
Oh,
the
I'll have to send you the
ancient
link.
buildings and the ancient statues that are carved with such
Exactly.
detail. All that. I'm like, there's no way those were cavemen. There's just so much evidence, and we're finding more and more. And, that's another thing. I've been feeling this for a long time, and I think it's getting ready to take place because we're having a lot of earth movements. I think the earth is going to give up something very powerful that's going to change the way we look at everything. And Gobekli Tepe, and there's certain things that are already starting to manifest, but I think something very big is going to come out of the ocean through a shift that they're not going to be able to hide this. So,
I've been reading. Uh, this was an interesting book. The beginning was the end. It deals with the fact. So when I look at things now, we got, and I love, by the way, the exchange. Someone said that's what a good exchange is. You can have two different people with two different opposing,
it
aspects
helps
on
us get
something, but
bigger.
you just, you
You're
incorporate it.
when you see things different from me, Wayne, I love it because you're in total, it makes me look at yours because
Yeah,
I didn't have yours, but now I have yours to contrast mine with and saying it's a beautiful thing. This is a gift.
it's how you
It's never
grow.
to, yeah, we don't fight. We should say, really,
No.
you completely think different than me? I want to know about that.
Yeah,
To,
how does that work?
yeah, how's that work?
It's
And you got to go what works for you, but it's good to look at other
good
people's point of
exchange. It's
view.
like that's
Yes,
it, and you love each other,
beautiful.
and you.
Yeah,
So
I grow
here's what
from it.
I'm in this that I've been writing about as well is that we get so hung up on the concept of God, Savior, demons, angels. And I often wonder about our ancestors. I'm reading right now from what anthropologists have discovered about ancient man.
Hmm.
And it may not have been a sapien, may have been Homo erectus, may have been a Neanderthal. But the point is, we've been around for a very long time. And so I question, so are you telling me that the God that I was taught, the one that, made everything from nothing, and that he made this earth, that is the same God of the first bipedal that stood upright?
Right. I don't think
Yeah.
so, but
Yeah, did he get promised,
I mean,
yeah,
it's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean,
it
it is
is, thank you.
ridiculous.
Now, it's
Come on,
not to
how
say
much
that there's
longer are we
something
going to
there.
wait to say that, to say this is bullshit? It's absolutely ridiculous.
Well,
Come on,
I wasn't going to
people.
say but that's exactly what I was thinking. It's like, now
Sorry,
this
that's
is
what
Dave.
I'm like, come
nonsense,
on. I'm like, really? No.
Yeah, I mean, it gets back at that whole thing about our struggle here. When it really comes right down to it, we're the ones that are in the struggle.
Yes, because we can't remember.
Yeah, someone told me that, when we were stuck in that snowstorm, that it was Jesus out there pushing me. And I
Yes.
said, if that was the case, then he wasn't doing a very good job because, the fact but
You
anyway,
know what I would have just said to that? I'll take all the help I can get.
it's like,
Uh,
I don't care who was pushing the car.
right? I'm
Yeah, just
all about
keep it
benevolent
going. That's
protection
it.
and cooperation. Bring it on. Yeah,
Yeah.
sunshine and yeah, do it.
I love this group. I love this group of open-minded people. Because
That's
like
what
I said, we
we
all have
do.
it, you
We got
know?
to remember, Wayne,
Yeah.
and that's, I've been looking a lot at light and photons. Oh boy. you know.
Well, how
So
about that fact of light, Trina, that, and Colleen, I'll give Colleen a shout out here because she's really good at it. Um, in that first chapter of Genesis, it talks about a light that we can't see.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
And that's the third position in the photon. It's
yeah, it's like
it's
we can't see that. We don't
no, and we can't
have it.
phase. It's very interesting. And then I saw something about of how the phase lock is going between position A, B, and C, which would be the two witnesses and the observer. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's
yeah.
always sitting in a trinity. And I'm getting to this whole trinity stuff. It has such a foundation of truth, but it's not what we've been taught. So, you know
Well,
what I'm saying?
uh,
It's such a mind bender. But what I'm seeing is that light you can't see, that is probably the observation position. And what you want to get is to the C position, because the C position is where you go into the Christ consciousness, what people call the Christ consciousness. Not to say it's a certain entity or being, whatever, believe whatever you want. But that's the unified mind. And that's where you remember where you came from. You remember parts of your origin. That's how you start to gather your bits back. Bits, data,
Mm.
information, gathering your bits. You're going to gather your bits, your pieces. And and what I was seeing was when they interact, like A tries to go to C, it'll obliterate B. B's, it explodes, it's gone. And it transfers to C, and then C, because C is the part of the equation that puts perpetual balance and the universal laws in place, it instantly makes a copy of the one that just imploded and puts it back into position A. That's why death is polarity transfer. It's all it is. It's just light moving from the seen to the unseen. It's profound what I'm seeing, and I really do think it might be correct. It's
See, I
all
love
light.
this.
It's all light, Wayne. It's all light, and it don't need a name or a face or a book or a belief. It is, and it's operating whether you know it or not. And it is what's controlling all of it. So, how do we shift our polarity at death so we don't continue into the same repetitive trinity? You have to get phase lock out, shift polarity, implode to go back to the original source copy, and that can emanate in any new position of its desire. That's where I'm going right now. And it's not fun.
and you're not going to be able to do any of that if you don't do the inner work of the hermit while you're here. You're not going to
That's
learn that in
right.
a happy moment.
And I think
You,
that's why, Jenny, those practices, what's the main thing you do when you do those practices? You get grounded, correct?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's just like
It's,
that
yes,
conscious
it's,
observer course that I showed people. It's the
yes,
trinity of that. In the nine is the external world, the
yes.
physical reality, the ethereal, and
And then the
you as
five,
the
the
hermit, the
hidden five.
nine, five in the minute, in the middle one that is actually supposed to be the anchor point, that 0 point energy, but which means you can only observe from that middle 0 point energy space either the physical or the ethereal. You
Yeah.
can't be a part of it. So sometimes that can be referred to as the light that you can't see. Because you know the hermit, he walks through the cave with a lantern that's very dim. He can't see with these physical eyes. He goes through the feeling of his feet and his staff. And the lights for you to look upon in the darkness. But remember, we've spoken about plants having their own light underneath the soil, that there's plants that grow underneath the soil because there's a sunlight that gets through the soil that we don't see. So it's all of that combined. But you're not
And
going to do any of it.
what happens when you ground? Okay, you've got all these particles flying around in chaos because you haven't chosen yet. You haven't seen your everything's moving in chaos, which is a
Yeah.
natural state here. But when you ground, you magnetize through that polarity and everything snaps into the center through the grounding rod. See, this is how we've got to remember how to control our light. And this is what they're trying to show me right now. And it's very complex and I'm having a hard time with it. But we're on to something with these practices, meditation. That's why these Eastern traditions have never went away. No matter how hard they try to get rid of them, they won't leave. because they're part of the construct of how our light operates here. So there's just so much to this, but when we can figure out how to use this light and phase lock into different positions of your own being, you will be able to access what they call the Holy of Holies, the higher mind, the oversoul, the whatever you source, God, whatever you want to call it, you'll be able to tap into that anytime, any way you want to, with a little bit of learning how to get into that space. And that's what they're showing me. Can you flip your polarity? And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's going to be a challenge, but I think I can. And they're like, you all do it, but can you
Well,
consciously do
it
it?
would be great
Right.
for people to listen, and you, Trina, to listen, to get your head full, your head set. And if it would be great if they're over year one, so the noise cancelling, and it's really cool. To balance out the hemisphere in a certain way, like you're saying, it is for me one of those gates between these two numbers of death is 3 and 7. So putting on 3 hertz in one year and 7 hertz in the other binaural tones, it's amazing. And talk about, feeling when you said Jesus pushed me through, Jesus pushed me through, with the weather, that statement you made earlier, Wayne. That's how it felt for me last night when I was putting that on, because my hands wanted to be up, at first, and my fingers wanted to be doing the movements, but they came down so slow. I swear to you, over a period of about 15 minutes until they reached, and my arms weren't aching. They weren't, my back doesn't usually allow that to happen. I can do things, I'm very strong, but anything like that for a long period of time aches. So me to hold them in all of these different positions as I'm moving them down. But they were being supported. I could feel like tendrils literally holding them down and putting them down there. So, the 3 and 7 is a beautiful way to balance those two hemispheres, and a good way to practice for that exit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree. Many different ways to get there.
I really do. And I think they're all going to collapse into the same trinity of light. That is
Don't try
you.
and get there by trying to be damn perfect, because there
I
is no
know.
perfection in any one person's eyes.
Goes
I
right back
think
to
that,
that same
Don't let that
question,
be
you
the
yeah,
know?
journey.
that's why I'm like, I think that is absolutely correct. There's going to be no perfect. That Nope, that's not here. Not
Don't
here.
waste your
And
time trying to find it. It's not. It's not.
Yeah,
It's not
and
there.
even
It's an illusion.
even Wayne, if there was like this ultimate source, protection, perfection, loving, la 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 la, like you said, how long would you be there before you got bored? I, you know,
that's why I don't think you have a being that's omnipotent. You would go
I do, but
insane.
I don't think I think I
You,
enjoy
you-
experiencing the contradictions, to learn, to evolve, to take it in through my own separation from that wholeness. It's a journey of yourself.
I
And
was
see,
doing
you
the
don't.
dishes, and the goddess spoke to me, and she said, I created you to experience.
Right, matter, to feel it, to
The
feel.
perfection is the journey.
Yeah,
It's not a destination, it's the journey. And
yeah,
she's that's what she and that's as I'm washing dishes, which is a very meditative thing, is that,
yeah.
that makes sense that you created me. So why would then you want to judge me based upon what experience?
She
I
doesn't
mean,
like.
she doesn't. That was that she
Doesn't.
says that she says you experience what you experience, and it's different for each person.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the beautiful thing of it. That's
But-
why I love this group. It's so Jenny, you have some cards there. Someone says, I could
Uh,
see why we would choose this. Let me tell you, the Earth is an amusement park.
Yeah,
It really
really is.
is. I mean,
yes,
amusement parks can be very scary.
yes.
Yeah.
This one's straight up twisted at this point. This
When
one,
you were saying that, Jenny, that tilt-a-whirl thing? Have you ever
uh-huh,
been in one where someone threw
yes,
up? actually,
Yes.
they're
Oh, not when
projectile
they actually
vomiting,
throw up,
and
though. I've
it's
seen it on I've seen that, but I haven't been in it when it
and then
happens.
everybody starts smelling the vomit, and
Oh
and it
I
no,
becomes
experienced
no,
that.
this vomit comet, that's spinning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
from my
no, I
cousin
haven't
sitting
been
right
in it
next
at
to
the
me.
but
same
you
time.
paid to
I've
get
been there
on the
when it's
ride.
happened. Wow, that is gross.
Yeah,
That's
I mourned the
gross.
puke.
But
Trust
it
me.
is true. It is actually happened. I know it because there you go.
That's
You're
Been there,
laughing when
done that.
someone else.
Yeah,
I wasn't.
been
I
there,
didn't.
done
I wasn't the one that was experiencing it, but someone I knew was.
right. I experienced it, and it was my cousin. And guess where we were? We were at a church carnival.
That is so funny. Clean up an aisle 5, please.
Clean up the whole parking lot because it flies in a circle.
I don't mind.
wow,
I know it's
gross.
Yep, been there,
but
done
you're
that.
laughing because it is
And I'm
gross.
laughing because if I was there, I would actually be one of the ones throwing up with them, and I wouldn't even have to be on the ride just by
Oh,
Yeah,
seeing
I'm
them do
dry
it.
heaving,
I'll be like,
going,
oh
get
wow,
me
I'm
up.
going. No,
I'm laughing
no,
so much I'm crying. It's just because
Yeah, my cousin will never forget that day either. I
I
promise you.
bet so. I
One for
mean,
the records, man. Yeah. I'm like, I'm never riding with you again, ever, ever.
it's those kind of experiences that you just oh,
Yeah, nothing's real till you feel it, right? Oh,
it
God.
is so true. It's so
Man,
true.
let me tell you.
Oh man, goodness gracious.
wow.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
there you go, folks. I mean, it is. So the Earth is, and it is. It's one of those amusement parks that you keep wanting to come back, because, you
yeah.
know, yeah.
Yeah.
So Jenny, you got some cards there, pull us. I know we've gone
Yeah,
over, folks, way over, but
and
what the heck?
I've lost the page again now. I haven't read these ones for ages.
And
Oh,
thank
there
you
it
for the
is.
laughter.
So,
It refreshes
thank
And
the
you.
thank
soul. It really
you for
does.
bringing back a childhood memory that I had forgotten about for quite
I
some
think
time.
you're welcome. Not a problem.
Just gonna text her cousin later, isn't she? And say, guess what? I just exposed about you. So this is Pasha Mama. This card here.
Mm,
These are beautiful cards.
yeah.
So Pasha Mama, and it
Mm,
speaks of it represents an unconditional love. I was just pulling them as we were talking about that last bit there. Love that the earth has for all of her children. So as you were talking about that, and she doesn't judge, we're pulling that card, including their stories, their plans, the animals they have and care for, the humans alike. She is the goddess of earth and accepts and loves all that is in this space. Um, She pervades all of creation in our plane. Thanks to Pasha Mama, our timelessness is here with her. It can never be expunged. Experience life to the highest possible goals. Be hardy, be true, but stay joyous and know that you are here for good reason and that good reason only needs to matter to you.
There you go.
yeah. That was another thing that they were showing me with that light and that how we're all experiencing different parts of the hologram. And that was the most valuable part of the whole experience is that we don't remember who we are and we have our own individual identity. And through our consciousness and our experiences, we literally have created your own individual frequency, which is a code of a library of existence that you've experienced that carries in you with your hidden unseen light. But that's the part of you that never can be touched or harmed or put anywhere you don't agree to go. And that was the
Have
greatest
you,
gift. It's like we have ultimate authority over what we choose and what we allow and where we decide to go. The only one that can put you anywhere you don't want to go is your own self by believing somebody's lie or somebody's, deception trying to get you somewhere they want you to go. So we do have this power, and that power, I do think it comes from a level of awareness and knowing and perfection, and that's the part of you that's eternal. But I think to truly learn what you even are, you have to go through the opposition of it to learn what you even are. So I think all of it has its place, and it's all beautiful. But boy, I'm coming to the fact that nothing here is real and everything here is upside down and backwards. And I'm not believing a whole lot of the books anymore.
All I got to say is just to make sure that the person you're getting on the ride with did not eat a burrito before the ride starts. That's all I got to say.
Oh, Wayne, we were having a spiritual moment. I'm back to the visuals again, just like that. It's an extreme response in me.
The only safe place is in the first seat of the roller coaster because everything back is
Don't
a
ride with
splash.
the one that's going to throw up on you. Yeah, don't
I
ride
was
with that one.
allergic to people when I was nursing them when they would be vomiting, but I did have a sneaky peg for my nose that I'd put on, and then I was quite happy to wear a mask, for purposes of cleanliness. So they never, but I had a whole system to get through that with empathy. 'Cause I thought,
Right?
oh,
True
I don't like
story. Back in the 70s, we were at Six Flags and we were actually on the Screaming Eagle, and some girl's top flew right by, and it was like, how, how the hell does that happen?
It go poof.
I mean, it just went right back, and
Oh
it's
my
like,
goodness.
oh, I
Oh,
gotta love it.
I've
Well,
seen the
everybody,
bikinis do that multiple times. Is on those smooth tubes, the
Yeah.
oh
bouncing.
yeah.
I have seen more girls come up naked and crying. I'm like, but on a roller coaster, I've never witnessed that.
I mean, I'm just trying to figure, was it up when the hands were going up or what? How did that work? I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
One
Woo!
on first or both together.
It's like, yeah, hallelujah. And you're going, amen. That's all I gotta say.
Oh
Oh,
my gosh. That is so
all
funny.
right.
He said,
All right. We laugh a lot here, and this is good. It's healthy. It's
That
good
is, yeah, you're
therapy.
making me cry a little bit.
yeah, me too. I was
Yeah,
crying.
just a little bit.
What was
Yeah.
it, Jenny? Was it the burrito or what?
It was the burrito, and you know exactly what you're doing. You know exactly what you're doing. And I will zoom you the next time I'm vomiting for empathy. And I'm a pain in the ass when I'm doing it because it's almost phobic. But yeah, I'm gonna call on you for support next
Thank
time,
you.
Wayne.
Hey, what are friends for, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, you've got some there and some there.
And all over.
Ah,
Oh no,
mm,
I'm in the mode of it now. Like screenplaying it now. It's a really bad thing.
ah.
It's like yes.
All right, ladies, it's been fun. We'll see
Mm,
you next
much
Bye.
Tuesday
love.
for sure.
Much love to
Uh,
everyone.
Listen, when you can end the show, and there's so many shows out there that, where it's just sometimes it's too doom and gloom, too serious. You just got to laugh. And
You
thank you,
do.
ladies, both.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank
Yeah.
Yeah,
you.
I needed
Yeah.
this. We're all in the trenches a bit right now, and
I
you
mean,
did laugh in the
And
trenches.
see, Wayne, somebody falls down and goes splat. We can't help it. We laugh our heads off. If somebody gets puked all over, we think that is so funny. Like,
yeah,
what is wrong with us?
as
I
long as it's
don't,
not us.
because I'd be joining in.
Yeah, it's an old
It's so
expression. Oh, it
funny.
sucks to be you. And you're going, yeah, it does.
Wow.
Oh.
Uh, you can get off into some philosophy on this. It's like, well, then why doesn't it happen to you, but it happens? It's like,
Right. Right. It's time
uh,
for me to laugh, not you today.
uh, all right. I hope you got some laughter out of this because that's our
I
best gift that
did.
we can give you. We thank
Yeah.
all of you. We love you
Yeah.
and laugh a little bit. Miss
Yeah.
Jenny, Miss Trina, love you both. We'll
Love
see
you
you
too,
next
too.
week. Give love to the family. Everybody, thank you. There
Yes,
we
love
go.
you.
Rock and Robin. We appreciate you, and we'll see each other. I don't know tomorrow. Don't know Thursday, but I will try to get back one of these days.
You better, because we miss you when you're gone.
Yeah.
Y'all are so sweet. All right. Much love, everybody. Until we see each other again, remember to smile, and it is the holiday season, so celebrate.